Deep in the heart of the forest, a rare creature mourned. He was a spirit bear, his fur as white as snow. His name was Koda. Koda was just a cub when the hunters came. He watched, hidden, as they took his parents' lives. The forest echoed with his sorrow, a silent scream trapped in his throat. Koda was alone. Instinct took over. He fled, the hunters' cruel laughter echoing in his ears. He found refuge in a hidden cave, a sanctuary of sorrow. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. Koda survived, fueled by berries and fish, but also by a growing rage. He would avenge his parents. He would become a ghost, a silent hunter. Years passed. Koda grew, his white fur a stark contrast to the dark shadows of the forest. He honed his skills, becoming a silent predator, a whisper in the wind. He remembered the hunters, their faces etched in his memory. Hate burned in his heart, a fire that refused to die. He lived for the day he would find them, for the day he would have his revenge. One crisp morning, the scent of man reached his keen nose. It was a different scent, not the hunters of his past, but the smell of fear still lingered. Koda stalked silently, his powerful muscles rippling beneath his white coat. He would have his revenge, even if it was on a stranger. He would make them pay. The man was young, his eyes wide with fear as Koda emerged from the trees. He was a hunter, his rifle raised, but Koda sensed no malice in him, only desperation. For a moment their eyes met. Koda saw something unexpected, a reflection of his own pain, a flicker of vulnerability. He hesitated, the fire of vengeance momentarily dimmed. The man lowered his rifle slightly, his hands trembling. He spoke, his voice barely a whisper. He spoke of his family, of his need to provide. Koda listened, the hunter's words stirring something deep within him. For the first time he saw a human, not as a monster, but as a creature not unlike himself, driven by survival. He turned and melted back into the forest, leaving the man unharmed. Days later, the scent of the young hunter returned. Koda felt a flicker of curiosity, even a hesitant trust. He approached cautiously, remembering the fear in the man's eyes. He emerged from the trees, expecting a startled greeting, perhaps even gratitude. What he found instead ignited a fury within him greater than any he had ever known. The young hunter was not alone. He stood with others, their laughter echoing through the trees. At their feet lay a fresh kill, its white fur stained crimson with blood. Koda recognized the lifeless form instantly. It was another spirit bear, its eyes forever staring into the emptiness. The fire of betrayal burned hotter than any vengeance. A roar ripped from Koda's throat, shaking the very foundations of the forest. He charged, a whirlwind of white fur and righteous fury. The hunters scattered, their laughter turning to screams. Koda slammed into the young man, his strength unstoppable. He could taste the fear in the man's cries, feel the frantic beating of his heart. He raised his claws, ready to unleash the full force of his anger. The man cowered, whimpering in terror. But as Koda looked into his eyes, he saw not the malice of a killer, but the reflection of his own despair, the agony of his own loss. The young hunter had betrayed his trust, had taken a life as precious as his own, yet in that moment Koda saw not an enemy, but a mirror.